we'll go over the news real quick. There, so HeyGen has some big announcements, so that's why we wanted you to, come on and have a chat with our crew here. Um, there is a project at MIT where researchers have developed a future you. It's an AI simulation that lets users have text-based conversations with an AI-generated version of their future selves by age 60. And you can answer some questions and it creates your avatar. Well, um, I did this last night. My 60-year-old version looks much older than 60 because I'm not a university student, which I think is their, who they're testing this on. But it's got an older picture of me and it's there to have a conversation. And people say that it's been reducing their anxiety about the future. And it can help the younger people make better choices today to have the future that they want. So it's called Future You. And oh, the link was working yesterday and it is not working today. I wonder if they took it down. Um, well, if you get our email newsletter, you'll get a link in there. And maybe Mark, how you could find and see if they took it down. But it's an interesting project. And then AI is saying, or AI, Google's saying that their AI search is even better now. And that it's going to boost your productivity and satisfaction as everything does in the AI world. And they've got Google Shopping Graph, and the Google Lens is supposed to be even better than it was before. We'll see. I don't know if anybody uses the AI features in Google, but I'd like to hear about that too. I do somewhat. And I was playing with it a lot more before, but now I do my AI searches in u.com and then I save my Googling for typical Google searches. And I don't really use Google Lens. I actually use like my ChatGPT app for instead of Google Lens. Alec, do you use those sort of things?
Yeah, I tend to use ChatGPT a lot. I will use Google. Uh, I tried like Perplexity and some of the others, but I mostly just use ChatGPT. I'd say my wife likes the Google Lens a lot for she's looking for something, shop, clothes wise, like we'll circle and use like the visual search. She finds really useful. I do like the voice mode also, like when I'm traveling. Um, I like to have, Chat GPT translate on the fly.
Yeah.
So those are some of the things I use.
Um, would you say that's your biggest use of AI?
Um, yeah, Chat GPT, just, writing, notes, memos, brainstorming, code wise, I'm not coding that much, but I'll have to write, SQL occasionally, and it's much easier there. I can just say, hey, what's wrong with this SQL query?
Yeah.
So that's really fast. Yeah, so I just use ChatGPT a lot as a, thought partner, brainstorm tool.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Um, so we can get into Hey Jen. Um, if I know that you had a conversation with Andrea, so you've heard how we use Hey Jen. We were just experimenting with some of the new translation features that you have, where you can translate the text in a video, not just the language, into the foreign language. Um, I can do a little screen share and show you what happened. And I know this is in beta, but we like to try out all of the different features and see how it's doing. And in this one, Andrea doesn't speak German. And this translated her, this is a Loom video that we uploaded. It translated her and it did lip sync. So it looks like she's speaking German. And then it translated the words on the screen to be German. And German words are a lot longer than English words, and so you see the run-on words because there's just not enough room. And if you've ever done web design and it has to be multilingual, you've got to leave the most space for German because it takes up so much room. So the visuals on this look a little funny, but it's great because we have to translate a bunch of training videos into German, and this is going to be really helpful.
Das ist die Landingpage, die ich im Kopf hatte, die wir dafür verwenden könnten. Ich habe den Link in die Anfrage eingefügt. Aber es muss nicht dieses hier sein. Ich habe nur gedacht, dass dieses wahrscheinlich funktionieren würde. Ich bin mir nicht sicher, ob es so lang sein muss, aber ich überlasse das dir. Das war die kurze Verkaufsseite.
So she can do a walkthrough in a different language of this platform. We were just testing it out with the English version first. And then you can also upload, this is something we like, you can upload a Zoom video, a Zoom chat, and translate.
Excellente transition pour réfléchir à qui sont vraiment exactement vos clients, n'est-ce pas? Et nous en avons parlé lors de nos sessions précédentes, comme avoir une connaissance détaillée et en profondeur de qui sont vos clients.
Andrea does not speak French either. And this is just a Zoom video with the lip sync and translation done in HeyGen. And those are some of our favorite ways to use it. We also do it for ads testing. We'll put scripts in there to test out different scripts. Same with our clients, and create some videos. Like this one is for this was to go along with a press release for the first electrical tugboat. And we have used the user-generated content looking avatars as well. And we'll test the different avatars and see how they are. We'll test ourselves as avatars, and then we'll test different HeyGen avatars to see what our audience responds to. Alec, do you want to do a little screen share and show us some fun things about HeyGen?
Sure. I guess I'll just kind of what's new and
Yeah.
okay. So I guess, yeah, one of the first new things people can try is just we've released these we've made some updates to our avatars. So, if you go to HeyGen, you can create an avatar of yourself just by uploading a few minutes of video. And it used to be where you had to upload new video and create a new consent statement for every avatar that you uploaded. So you can see I have different avatars of me that I've made over the months. But now we're having this feature called looks. So each avatar that you make is just going to represent one person. So it can be yourself or somebody else. And then you're going to be able to generate as many looks for that avatar as you'd like. So this is best represented in HeyGen by our public avatars. So here you can see, I'm going to look at this avatar, Gala. And it's the same person. Hopefully this will load. My internet operates. But I have different looks that I can use. So different scenes, different angles, different clothes, props. And this just really helps because when you have, an avatar like this, you kind of go to the effort to make it look nice, and especially companies, they want to hire an actor to do these scenes, or they have their CEO, for example, and they have one session and they are going to just want to get different variety of looks for them. So now you can do that. And we've made that a lot easier to kind of more organized. So that infinite, many looks feature is new. And then also we have these avatars called 3.0. So It's pretty cool. When you actually create videos with these, you'll see they're much more dynamic. They have more variety in terms of their facial animations. It used to be that HeyGen, when you made a video, it would mostly kind of change the mouth, right? The lips would be synced up, but everything else would kind of be the same and operate sort of on a loop. Now, not just the mouth, but the head, the eyebrows, the shoulders, kind of the arms, all will react dynamically to the script that you give it. So it just makes a much more realistic avatar. And right now it's only for a few of these public avatars, but soon everyone's going to be able to make these. And so it's really exciting to be kind of pushing the forefront of realism.
Welcome to the new era of video creation with HeyGen. Simply type your script to get started.
You can see how his eyebrows are raised, brows furrow. So all those things are aspects of the avatar that previously would kind of just be static. So this avatar 3.0 is very cool. And I guess last thing I'll show, just because I happen to know the most about it, is our interactive avatar feature. So for anyone who hasn't seen this, when you, for example, we talked about ChatGPT earlier. When you go to ChatGPT and you're having a conversation, you're sending it text and it's sending you back text. So what this product does is basically gives ChatGPT a face. So I can go here and give a prompt, for example. I can say, hi, I'm Nicole. I love AI and I love, to eat hamburgers. I want to talk nonstop about AI and hamburgers. I love making jokes. So I'm just giving here this context for ChatGPT to basically power the conversation, right? So I can save this and then choose my avatar and start this chat. And we'll see this is like a real-time interactive experience. And this host or this avatar is going to say their name's Nicole and talk about hamburgers and AI. And
hi, I'm Nicole. And hamburger's the perfect combo. If AI were a hamburger, it would probably be a bite-sized burger packed with data and flavor. What's your favorite type of hamburger?
I like cheeseburgers.
Cheeseburgers are a classic. If AI could choose a favorite cheeseburger, it would probably be the Deep Learning Deluxe, stacked high with layers of cheddar and a secret sauce of knowledge. What's your go-to topping for a cheeseburger?
So you can kind of see the experience here. So there are a lot of different uses, right? It's very flexible. You can have this be a sort of a representative for your own brand, which we've actually done. So if you go to our demo here, you can chat with my avatar, and it's going to be able to tell you everything about this product, but the HeyGen interactive avatar, and be kind of a salesperson for me.
Hey there, I'm your HeyGen AI sales rep. I'd love to learn about your business and how you plan to use interactive avatars. What are you looking to achieve with them?
I want to set up a hamburger stand. How can I use the interactive avatar for my business?
That sounds interesting. You can use our interactive avatar for customer support, promoting your hamburger business, or even guiding customers through the menu. They can engage in real-time conversations, answer questions, and enhance user experience. How do you envision incorporating the avatar into your setup?
So what I've done with this is that I've given a long prompt with all the information about the interactive avatar product. And I've basically given the instructions, hey, be helpful, answer customer questions, try to lead them towards, ways that they can think of using this in their own business.
Is the connection still good?
You'll see we also have a silence statement. So if it's going to check in with me. If I'm not saying anything, are you there? Eventually it's going to say, I'm going to end the session, and it's going to
Are
close.
we still connected?
It's going to close things automatically. So this is live, right? For us. And it's very useful for me because I'm primarily the person who has to have conversations about this product. And now I can send people to my avatar. So this has about 100 conversations a day that I don't need to be there for. And I can just go and, check basically and see, the transcripts of, hey, what did my avatar say? I can view a recording or see a meeting summary. So it's, it can have these kinds of interactions on your behalf in a lot of different ways. So this is also free to try. You can go to HeyGen Labs, which is our area of the website for more of our experimental features, and try it out. Let's see.
So how does it work on Zoom? I saw that Zoom was an option.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting if this will work in this Zoom meeting, but this is kind of new and not, we're sort of still building it, but the idea is that these can appear in Zoom meetings as well. So if I paste in a Zoom link, maybe this will work. The avatar might show up here. Yeah. So it's unfortunately right now it's kind of we're rebuilding this. So if we try this again in 2 weeks, you should be able to bring this into your Zoom meeting, and it'll do the same thing. It'll listen, it'll respond, it'll just like this experience here. It'll join your Zoom meeting and kind of participate based on the prompt that you give it.
What kind of account level do I need to have in order to do the avatar, the interactive avatar?
Well, let's ask.
Hello, I'm Alec, the HeyGen AI sales representative. What's up?
What account level do I need to have at HeyGen to use the interactive avatar?
You don't need a specific account level to use the interactive avatar. It's available to all users, whether you're on the free, creator, team, or enterprise plan. Just remember, each interactive avatar costs $49 per month. If you want more than 100 concurrent sessions, you'd need to consider purchasing streaming API credits. How do you plan to use the interactive avatar?
There you go. So yeah, you can sign up for a free account and use this. You don't need an enterprise plan or anything. It's just if you want to create your own interactive avatar like I have here, then you'll need to pay it's like $49 a month.
Okay. Interesting. And that people are using they're using your avatar, like you're using your avatar for the conversations?
Yep, I'm using it for this purpose. But we have this is available as an SDK, for other people to build and put on their own websites and in their own products. So we have a lot of examples, and it's growing a lot every week. Basically, we have customers launching cool new experiences. One use case is in education. So this one startup is using us to build a language learning experience. So you can see that's one of our avatars, and you can get on a call and practice speaking a foreign language. We have this company that has like an LSAT prep course. So you can basically talk to this AI tutor about, studying for this test, and it'll guide you through and be kind of a face to help you hone your skills. Kind of cool.
Interesting. Reminds me of a Harry Potter picture.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, it does.
The wanted images.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
How much information can you train this avatar with?
Well, you know, there's this technique called RAG,
Mm-hmm.
which you guys may know, right? So using that, you can essentially give it endless information. You know, you can create a database and put all kinds of stuff in there, and then just tell the language model to go and look up any, basically do a search, right? Every time it gets asked a question, and it can have access to a lot of different information. Uh, I think if you're just going to use text and you're not going to build out one of those RAG architectures, then you know up to 100,000 characters with our prompt. But you can also hook this up to whatever you want and have this be a you know, you can just send text to the avatar and have it say what you know, repeat whatever you want it to. So there's no real limit.
Yeah. Can you explain to the viewers what a rag is?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not even, you know, not an engineer myself, so I basically what this means is like, you know, usually when you're telling ChatGPT, you know, sending it text to respond to, you give it some sort of context. So, you know, um, I will basically tell it, you know, I have my input here, and I'm going to type my question, and then I can also give this some sort of, um, you know, some sort of context. So um, that can be just like any amount of text. That can be some instructions, you know, always reply in French or whatever. It can, you know, you're giving it some idea so that when you submit your question, you're also telling it how it can answer. So that's what we would call just like a system prompt, right? And it's pretty basic. But what RAG is would be, instead of just sending that system prompt, you actually connect the language model to a, you know, a vector database. So basically you just give it the power of searching, so that I don't need to tell it, you know, hey, every time you respond, you know, look at this information first in text. I can just say, here's the database. Anytime someone asks you something, look at this database to get your answer. And that's just much more flexible possibilities, much larger, um, much more information that you can give it.
So to set up my first one, do I need to have a paid Chat GPT account?
To set up your first,
Interactive avatar?
nope, no, it uses our connection to chat to GPT. So no, you don't need anything.
Okay.
You can just click here, you know, click a new knowledge base, and you know, type in what you want it to know.
And that rewrite with guidance, does that enhance your prompt?
So it basically just gives it a little more structure. So um you know, it's useful just to kind of separate your prompt and to make it a little more organized. So in this case, we have three sections. So one is persona, basically who are you, right? Who is this avatar performing as? You know, so you say, you know, your name is Alec. You know, you are a agent interactive avatar. Yeah, this is how it's going to talk about itself, right? Otherwise, if you leave this blank, it's going to just say, I'm ChatGPT, you know, which isn't
Mhm.
the point. Then the knowledge, which would be kind of the facts, right? You know, each interactive avatar costs $49 per month. You know, there is no account level on HeyGen needed. You make an interactive avatar. You know, and this is a great example. This is maybe something that I had used ChatGPT for. You know, if I have been on previous sales conversations or I've been on Zoom, you know, and I have recordings or transcripts, I might upload those into ChatGPT and say, hey, distill this long, you know, hour-long meeting where I answered all these questions about the interactive avatar into, you know, a list of facts about it. And then I can just copy paste and just have this kind of pre-made section where it has all the facts about the interactive avatar that I want it to have. And the instructions would be, you know, keep each response to 3 sentences. And so then when I make this, it, you know, it'll just generate this structure for me. So I have persona and the knowledge and instructions. So that's what that does.
Okay. It says useful links. Does that pull in information from the links from the
Yeah.
websites?
So this will just summarize the website. So again, this is not really creating a database. Like you can't upload a Google, you know, a Google Drive link with like a, you know, 1,000 files. Like that won't work. But if I just have a simple website that I want to, you know, put information about, like heygen.com, it will search this, scrape the content, summarize it, and add it to the bottom here as, like, again, part of the knowledge. So here's the FAQ that it's summarized here. What is HeyGen? What industries can benefit from HeyGen? And so on. So it'll create a little FAQ.
And then you can't currently upload documents to this.
Right. You
Does
cannot.
anybody have any questions about the interactive avatar? Because I've got a few more, but I'd like to open it up too. Would anybody here use the interactive avatar? I know we have humans on the other side of those Zooms. Andrea says yes. So I'm kind of curious. We've been getting a lot of questions about HeyGen and synesthesia, and I'm wondering, like, oh, yeah, Jenna said we'd use for training or potential webinars. Yeah, I could see for employee onboarding, things like that too. But I was curious about synesthesia and what you think about what they're doing and what HeyGen is doing.
It's a question for me.
Yeah.
Synthesia, well, obviously they're, you know, a competitor of ours.
Mhm.
I think we're better. Yeah, I would recommend HeyGen. I think HeyGen's more for, you know, Synthesia is kind of pretty hyper focused on a pretty narrow set of users, which are like people who pump out professional content, like in the learning and development team. That's been their focus. They do not have, as I'd say, intuitive a product as us, or a product that's made more for like individuals and creators to use easily.
Mhm.
That's kind of where we started, so we have a lot of that DNA to make it easy to make content, or, you know, kind of just make a few videos for, you know, experiment. I think our avatar quality is better, like our avatar 3.0, you know, and our they don't have a lot of features that interactive avatar they don't have, you know, a whole video translation suite they don't have. So you know, I think they kind of were very early in this space and kind of had a good following, but they've still been pretty narrowly focused on a specific, you know, business use case. So if that's your function, your role, and I think, you know, makes sense, and check them out. I think for a lot of other folks, HeyGen's a better fit.
Yeah, I mean, we always recommend HeyGen. It's what we like and what we find really easy to use, and we like to play with it, experiment with it, and um, you know, put content out with it. Um, one of the things that we would love to be able to do is have more avatars that we create in there. And currently there's no way to do that. We get 3 and we can't even buy more. Do you know if that's coming up as something you can add more of?
Well, I think the whole looks feature that I mentioned is part of one way to address that, because I think people, if they make one avatar themselves, they want to be able to create more versions, right? And try different outfits or different poses. And so you can do that now with this looks feature.
Yeah.
Um, I think what we wanted to just restrict was just somebody creating an account and then, you know, creating 100 avatars for other people and charging more for that. It's like we wanted to make sure people weren't like reselling our technology. So that's why we want to make it like make an avatar yourself, make an avatar to other people, and you can make as many versions of those as you want. But if you want to make like avatars en masse for other audiences, then we want you to sign up for like our agency program or something else, which has a little bit different structure, just to make sure that we're kind of controlling who's making avatars and who's charging for it and all those things.
Yeah, I actually had a, I don't know, 20-minute meeting with Adam, I can't remember his last name, yesterday, and gave this same feedback, because I definitely think there's a difference between someone that creates 3 and someone that creates hundreds, right? You, in our cases, having the looks is great. I love that, because now
Cool.
every time I make an avatar, I don't have to wear the same outfit over and over again, you know? And so it looks like, okay, you're just reusing the same thing. So I think the looks is great, especially not having to do the consent over and over again. But what I do think is, in our case, we use this for different things. So it might be onboarding internally, it might be onboarding a client, it might be for sales, it might be for customer service. And those are all different people. It wouldn't be represented by the same individual. And for us, that's the difference in needing more avatars. Um, my other concern was, with the team account, there really wasn't a reason for us to go to a team account. The only thing different was that 30-minute versus the 5-minute. But even in the team account, if you add on seats, you don't get 3 avatars per seat or anything there. So the number of avatars for us seems like a little bit of a limitation, and I totally understand having to put those guardrails on. But 3 to, or having packages where you could buy them would be really helpful, especially for the role-based avatars.
Yeah, because even if we could get 5, that would be super helpful for us because of the different roles that the different people play in the company. Because right now we can only have 3 people in there, even with more seats. You can only have 3 avatars. So, yeah, that's something that has been
That's
a
good
consistent.
feedback. Yeah. I mean, look, I'm not on that team necessarily making those decisions, so I don't know why they chose 3 over 5. I think they will play with this. They'll try to get a good balance where, there's sort of a defined, there's like a set number of features in creator, which makes sense for people who really are creators, who just like us, individual that are making videos and they can access what they need and don't need to pay more. And then there's a set of features for teams that, maybe 3 isn't enough. I think that's totally could be true. But then also, they don't they don't necessarily need to be making, 30 avatars, because if someone's going to be doing that, we kind of want them to be in this kind of an account, because
Yeah.
it makes more sense, for us to treat them properly and for them to have what they need. And, we're sort of aligning the different account types. So, yeah, it's good that you had a conversation with Adam. For sure, I would follow up with him on this. And,
Yeah, because currently the only leap is all the way to
teams to
enterprise.
enterprise. I know. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
a pretty large leap as far as cost goes.
Yeah, it's more than 10 times the price.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think yeah, I guess I need to look up what it is. But look, for my product, which is the interactive avatar,
yeah.
I had the benefit because it's newer, but I got to say, look, let's just let people play with it. You can play with it with a free account. You can make your own interactive avatar by paying nothing else but the $49 a month, which is just like what it costs us, you know. So we've tried to kind of make some of our products easier to try even without enterprise. But the thing's always evolving. It's we used to charge based on the minute. Now you can make as many
Yeah.
videos as you want. So
Yeah.
I think the cost will come down and everyone will get more value over time. It's just kind of we're
Yeah.
experimenting.
That's why we want to speak up, because we have seen the changes and we know it's influenced by user feedback too. So, you know,
Yeah.
we want to be squeaky wheels because we love the product and we want it better and we want to be able to continue to use it and recommend it to everybody too. Jeff mentioned something in the chat, which I think everybody has video off right now, except for our little team. And I think this is a good indication of how uncomfortable people feel on video. And, making the comment that he's been interested in the HeyGen's ability to turn text into video for people who feel comfortable writing, but not so comfortable on video. And yesterday we had someone on, we were talking about HeyGen yesterday also. And last night, actually, we had 2 sessions on HeyGen yesterday. And in one of them, she has Tourette's. And so she might have tics and things like that. And she only needs 2.5 minutes of clean video. And then because she's really shy of making videos. And with 2.5 minutes, you can train your avatar, even in a high resolution, you can do 4K. And then have it go as long as you want it to. You can re-record it at any time. And I would say even people who are super shy, you can do the 30 seconds talking to the camera and do the really rough version automatically through HeyGen without uploading a video. And to just try it out. Because after 30 seconds, you'll see maybe your weird things where you look off to the side or up or down. I raise my eyebrows too much when I'm talking or whatever it is. And you can re-record, and it's really easy to re-record on here too. And so if you don't like it, it's okay. You can just, update it and put a new one in. And Jeff says, let's be honest, being on video is terrifying. I mean, it's kind of that thing where people are afraid of public speaking too. I mean, we live on Zoom, so we're kind of
Yeah.
used to it,
Well,
but it's also,
it's one thing on a Zoom account and it's another on, a piece of video that may be seen by a lot of people over and over again to live, that goes out in an email or something. I mean, thinking about, your own appearance. I mean, how's my hair look? Am I groggy eyed? Am I whatever, my skin and all that stuff? I think that's definitely a factor here. And so, creating a video based on text, that is going to be a big theme in things that come out soon. We have this feature already in some areas of the product, but more broadly, it's going to be kind of integrated and easy to just type script, give a prompt basically and get a video out that matches what you're looking for.
That'd be
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah,
I mean, I already think it's cool just to feed it a script. So,
Yeah.
that takes care of 90% or more.
For one example, we have this integration with HubSpot. I don't know if anyone uses, but on HubSpot, it's one of the things you can do there is have a blog. So we have this integration with them now where if you plug in your HeyGen account to your HubSpot account, every time you publish a new blog, we will take that, automatically scrape the blog and turn it into like a short form video. So just making it easier, right, to create more video content, which is, most powerful, what people want to view these days, and repurposing something you've already done and turning into something net new that you can share with your audience. So that'll be more and more one of the ways that we want to make it easy to create video.
Do you plan on having other integrations besides HubSpot?
Yeah.
Like maybe go high level?
High level is mentioned a lot. Yeah, that's on the horizon for sure.
Great.
Alec, can I ask something? Sorry, Nicole. Because we use HubSpot, I want to know if the only information that it's gonna absorb, let's say, in order to make videos are the blogs, because we want to create content, but maybe we can create our own like written content inside the blog part section, and the system can take that information from there. Just so we need to put all the text inside the blog section so your system can catch it.
Yeah, yes, as of now, it's just going to take one blog and create a video
Okay.
based on that.
Okay.
There are other, I think that integration with HubSpot will evolve further. And we'll have other integrations coming soon as well.
Any that you can tell us about?
Integration, so well, yeah, I mean, high level, I think, let me see.
I
We just
know.
released, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say a few of us here are on Go High Level too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There's a cool product called FlowShare,
Mm-hmm.
which if you're ever looking to demo your website or your app, basically it automatically takes anything that you do and it'll create a step-by-step guide. And so they now have an integration with HeyGen where maybe it's not mentioned here. All right, I guess they already have Synthesia listed, but it will create a little human talking head to talk through the step-by-step guide that you make.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I think even if you go on our site now, we have this integrations tab. And so you'll see a lot more kind of getting added here.
Yeah. We keep an eye on that section for sure. And we've used it in Canva too.
Yes.
Jeff was wondering if HeyGen has an API so that you could do some development.
Yep, we do.
What's available in the API?
The interactive avatar is basically an API. There's a video translation endpoint and there's video generation endpoint. So you can generate new videos based on templates. You can translate videos, and do all that programmatically. This is one of the things that a lot of that is restricted to other accounts, like enterprise accounts. We're making that easier. So we are going to have like an API plan where if you just want to use the API and you don't want to pay all that money, you can start using it at a lower price point. So all that's coming as well. But yeah, I would check out our doc. Just Google HeyGen API and you can see it.
Because right now HeyGen is like 10,000 for enterprise to start, right? Okay. I mean, we have a client that made hundreds of videos on it and their company translated them into languages all over the world. I don't even know how many languages now, but they do CPR and AED training. And so it would make sense for somebody like that to have the enterprise account and to be able to use it that way because they captured the doctors that they have relationship with. They got their avatar and then they can have instructional video in the background. So they have the little doctor, like a Loom video explaining what's happening. And that it's a real doctor who's part of the organization, but then their doctor can deliver training all over the world in several different languages, and it takes them so much less time. They used to have to wait a good 8 to 12 months to get any time with the doctor to do demonstrations. And now they can just use the avatar and create a lot more videos.
Yeah. I think there are lots of folks like that. A lot of actually people in religious organizations is really popular. I mean, they have a lot of sermons that they want to translate and reach new audiences, and so they've actually kind of unexpected power users of the translation. So
Interesting.
That is interesting.
I think we did have a question, but she's where the hurricane is hitting right now, and so
Oh
she's
boy.
not on. And she was wondering about translating mass amounts of videos. Like if you have a YouTube library of videos, how can we use HeyGen to translate those into different languages? Um, yeah. So there was
Yeah, you can do that. Probably best explained just by logging in and going to the portal, you know, clicking video translate. I think if we don't have it already, we will have like a you know, mass like bulk upload. That's a common request that you can do. I think now, if you can't now, it'll be in the next release.
yeah, we figured you'd be able to do something like that with the bulk upload because we are going to have a lot of training videos that we need to translate into German pretty soon within the
Yeah.
next couple of weeks. So we've been investigating it and testing what we can do in HeyGen because for us, the speed to get the video production done, then we can just have one person do it instead of having it done natively in German and natively in English. It will, because we have a short runway with this project.
Mhm.
Um, HeyGen is definitely going to save us a ton of time on this one.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah. Anything else in the roadmap that you might be able to share with us?
Hmm. I think I've talked about a bunch already, you know, these different looks, Avatar 3.0, Zoom integration for the interactive avatar, um, you know, text to video, bunch of new integrations. I think all these are things that'll come, you know, before the end of the year. So
Okay. Are we on Avatar 2.0 right now?
I think so.
Okay. I still have my Avatar 1.0 from last year, and the difference is huge.
Yeah.
My, my original Avatar, I had to record it, and then it took 5 days to get my digital twin back. And
Mhm.
it's amazing how far HeyGen has come, and the lip syncing is so much better now too. It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Any other comments, questions on here before we let Alec go? Let's see. Where can we find any info or documentation on using our own proprietary vectorized database?
Yeah. So there's, as I mentioned, um, there is we don't have that yet in our product. People have done that on their own. There's actually one MIT professor who created an example of this. So, you know, OpenAI has this assistance API that kind of does this for you. It makes it really easy. So let me see.
Alan, do you already have your own database and you want to tie the API into that, the HeyGen API into it? Is that what you're looking for? Yes. Okay. So more like probably the API documentation.
Yeah, so there's no real API documentation for doing that exactly. I put in the chat this example of, you know, GitHub example of this MIT professor who kind of did that on his own. He did it via an OpenAI assistant, which may or may not be what you're looking for. But in general, if you have an LLM and your own vector database, then you can just have the user input go to your you know, LLM, search through your database, and any response you send it to our API just as like a repeat. So you'll handle kind of handling the user input and getting the output from the LLM. And once you have that output, then you send it to our API.
Okay. Can you send that to everyone in the chat? Because I think it probably got sent to notes. That's the default
Yep,
one.
that's
Thanks.
correct.
Thank you. Alan says thank you. And Jenna from Trilogy says thank you for blazing.
Sure. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah. And if anybody has questions, where can they have a conversation with your avatar?
Yep. And that'll give you my email if it can't answer what you're looking for.
And then are you okay if I share the link to your chat avatar
Yeah.
when we post this on YouTube too?
Sure. For
Okay.
sure.
I think a lot of people are going to be interested in this. Usually we'll have a few hundred views right after this because time zones and communities we post in.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Jeff says he can't wait to see what the future with HeyGen looks like, and keep up the good work.
Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, thanks everyone for having me.
Yeah, can we get your link real quick, Alec?
My link? Oh, you want me to, the interactive avatar link?
Yeah. So they can continue asking you questions.
Yeah. It's right there.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for your time today.
Thank you,
Okay.
Alec.
Thanks everyone.
Bye.